What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Mate with Hans Real Estate podcast. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Hans Weisfeld. I'm a real estate agent in Miami with Keller Williams. And today's guest has been in the business for over 15 years. Today's guest has made and makes over $500,000 per year door knocking, hitting those streets and hitting door by door. Everyone, welcome to the show, Eric Hass.
And it wasn't easy. I mean, it's really taken 10 plus years to get to that point. A lot of people think, oh, yeah, 5 years, you should be killing it. Yeah, you should be doing well, but it's really going to come as a result of you really putting in that consistent effort on a daily basis. And I mean daily, 5 times a week.
Wow, man. Yeah, we're going to get deeper into, your systems and your strategies and your scripts and your follow-ups and all of that, so we give a lot of value to people. And by the way, anyone that is looking, if you guys want to follow Eric, he's all out in LA. His, what is your Instagram? Eric.Hass?
Eric Hass, yep. Like the avocado too. So if you can't remember, it's Hass like the avocado.
Hass like the avocado. Also Hass like, taking out my N and putting out another A because I've now be Hans. Did you think about that already? But Eric, man, I mean, that's amazing, man. Because, again, I'm thinking you're 25 years old. Like, yeah, your parents are doing it. But still, like the mentality that you had, where'd you get, how'd you come up with that mentality? Because, you could have also gone another route, or people could also go a different route. Be like, shit, my parents are real estate agents. Let me kind of just like, go follow them, see what they're doing, trying to help them out, be their assistant, kind of, slowly grow like with them. But, from what you're saying, you're like, fuck it, I'm going my own way. Like, I have them, but I'm still doing my own thing. I'm going my own way. And, like, how'd you have that mentality? And how'd you also have that mentality of, like, it might not be easy now, but it's, it's going to happen. Like, was it your parents, or was it just that's something that you've always had in you?
So, it was a combination of things, and I'm happy to touch on those too. It was my parents, definitely. I mean, they pushed me from the beginning with school, focus, consistent, being, good study habits. I went to Claremont McKenna College, which is a top liberal arts school on the West Coast. So, I mean, I was grounded in that. Plus, as I've talked to you before, we've talked about soccer. I was a very avid soccer player. I played my whole life from 5 years all the way through college. I had opportunity to try out in second division Italy, which I passed up to get into the music industry. One regret in life, but hey, it's all good. But I mean, what it comes down to is that, I realized that my parents weren't going to be the only support I needed to get ahead in this business. And a lot of people will tell you that, you need a coach. And I feel that when you're first starting out, that's extremely important, is to have a coach who can push you in the right direction. And for me, and this was a nationwide coach, and he still coaches to this day, was Steve Scholl. It was called performance coaching, and he was fantastic with it. I mean, he provided us with the scripts on what to say, how to dial it in on a daily basis, a schedule where you were consistently doing your best, and you were keeping track of how many people you're actually talking to, because it's not a number of doors you're hitting, it's a number of people you're actually talking to. So when you keep track of your numbers, you start to see over time how many people it takes to get to a listing appointment, how many people it takes to get a listing. And then you're dialing in every single day. Okay, well, if it takes me 250 people that I have to knock and talk to get a listing appointment, then I have to hit so many doors a day. So, and make so many contacts a day to facilitate that. So for me, it came down to I have nothing else I'm doing, which I don't understand new agents, how they just sit around at the office and chit chat. But that's another reason why, again, I found no use in having an office. And that's why I chose a cloud-based brokerage like EXP. But, I always found myself out and about, and I was hitting the doors, and I found that I had to be out at the doors 5 times a week. That's Monday through Friday. And I used to go from 10 to 12, come home, eat, and go back out from 2 to 4. Wow. Again, I had nothing better to do, and I was 25, so I had to build up my rapport so people could trust me. I was a young person, and that wasn't working in my favor, other than the fact that I had a really strong work ethic. And then on top of that, my coach was just saying, hit the doors, hit the doors, hit the doors, and do open houses, but hit the doors consistently, because the doors will lead to the listings, which will lead to the open houses. And then you're setting yourself up for a pipeline that's going to continue to grow, because you're building on the rapport that you're touching on every single time you're coming through the neighborhood.
That's amazing, man. That's an awesome mentality to have and an awesome system to have. You know, pretty much you can be consistent with everything and anything that you do. You know, you'll make it. You'll definitely see the results. You know, so for you, it's door knocking. For other people, it may be cold calling. For other people, it may be just working on their sphere, wherever it is. But definitely, like
Right.
you had your system. You know, so you're going, hey, Monday through Friday, from 10 to 12, and then going back to 2 to 4. Like you had your system. You're doing it and you can definitely see the rewards. That's amazing. Let me ask you: did you have your coach from day one?
Pretty much, yeah. Because my parents actually were coaching with the same person. So I already knew that like that worked for my dad, who when I started, mind you, that was about 15 years ago. So my dad was in his mid 60s and still door knocking in his mid 60s, all the way through his 70s as well. Like he knows that that's what gets him business. Yes, they send out a quarterly, but it's a quarterly compared to people sending out, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 mailers a month consistently every single month. So he knew that him by doing it a different way and being at the door, even at his age too, really tapped into building that trust factor, which you can't do with a postcard, to be honest.
That's definitely, man. That's amazing. Yeah, getting in front of someone. There's nothing like that, right? Definitely
Right.
getting in front of someone. That's why. So let me ask you. So you're 25. You started door knocking. You were young, but you're like ambitious, and I'm like I'm gonna keep coming to their same door. So either they like it or they don't. Like they're gonna be seeing me. So
Right.
tell us, other than like your system for the hours on Monday to Friday, twice a day. What else? Tell us a little bit about at least when you started, because I'm sure when you started, you're kind of you probably weren't the best, right? Yeah, of course, when you started, you're probably messing up. But so how
Right.
was the starting point for you, and then how did you see that you evolve into something a better door knocker, better business? Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. It's funny that you say that too, Hans, because I still remember the very first door that I hit on. And it wasn't in the area that I'm working right now either. It was in a completely different farm that I was trying to focus in on. It didn't work out. I really didn't like the area because it was just a little too much congested. It was east of the 405. I'm primarily west of the 405. But regardless of that factor, I still remember to this day the very first door I hit. It was in Westwood. I don't know the exact street. It could have been Patricia. That seems to ring a bell. But knocked the door, really sat there in my head saying, please, please don't answer. Please don't answer the door. I don't even know what the hell to say to you. And then the door answered. And I was like, Coldwell Banker. And they're like, okay, you're a real estate agent? I'm like, oh, yeah, here's an update. Thanks. Call me if you need anything. Bye. And I ran off to the next one. But you know what? I got it done. And the first one is always the hardest. And it may be the second door that you hit is the first one. But the first door was my first one. And it gave me that confidence that I really needed right out the door. And sure, I screwed up. And I screwed up many times after that. I've had many people cuss me out too and yell at me. But you know what? I realized also, Hans, I don't have to work with everybody. Not everybody deserves, the value that I bring, and respect gets respect. So like, if you're going to be a douchebag at the door, and I get it, we have our bad days, and trust me, I've converted people that were total a-holes to me at one point at the door, and the next time around, they were totally fine. I get it. Wow. People have bad days, but I had one person just go off, slam the door, and then open it again and say, oh, one more time, and set it, and then slam the door again. Honestly, I just walked off laughing, saw the neighbor, and she confirmed that he's crazy. So, it wasn't me, it was that person. And I continued on my merry way. Now, another thing too, to keep in mind, people are going to probably be sitting out there going, well, you said you go 2 times a day. Does it matter what time you go? No, it really honestly doesn't. Now, it depends on the neighborhood. If you're seeing that, people are wanting to be back by 3 p.m., maybe you should be hitting after that time frame, especially if you have traffic. Like for LA, I realized that, traffic starts getting heavy at 2. So a lot of people want to make sure that they're doing their errands before that. So I'm coming at 1 or 2. So I'm getting the most out of my experience out there at the doors. It's great if you're at the doors, but you want to make sure that you're also in contact with people as well. Get it right now, that's not possible. And Hans, we can jump into that at some point as to what I'm trying to do now as I'm adapting to this new way of delivering value and content, but in a completely different way.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we'll definitely get into that. And that's awesome. Now, what stuck to me was that traffic started at 2 p.m. in LA, man. That's fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane. 2 p.m. Wow. Over here, Miami, we complain, as traffic starts like at 4:35 and
Uh,
2 p.m. Wow. So Eric, so all right, so going back to the door knocking, going back to, I know you had those, sometimes you probably have some, difficult people that you adapted, that you've spoken to. But what I really love from what you said is that pretty much, hey, you're going out there looking for those people that do want to work with you.
yeah,
You're
and
going
they're
out
out.
there to find those people that see the value that you bring, and that's beautiful, man. Because you're going out there focused. You're like, hey, this guy slammed the door. I mean, this guy cursed me out. This guy didn't open, but you know what? This guy didn't want to work with me. Like, and that's awesome, man. That right there, definitely. Same thing as for calling or whatever you're doing. Hey, not everyone is for you. You're looking for that person that does want to work with you, that
Yeah.
understands the value that you bring and the respect.
Yeah, I mean, you just, for me, I just had to get out of that car and get to the door. And really, for me, I actually traced back to a childhood memory. I actually went trick or treating until I was 18 years old. Great, it's out there, everyone knows now. But yeah, I was out trick or treating until I was 18. Plus, I was short, so I could get away with it. But brother, yeah, laugh it up. I got you. But at the same time, man, door knocking is like trick or treating, except instead of getting that candy bar from that magnificent house, you're selling that house and making 50, 60 grand. So that's what was able to get me out of the car. That's what got me to knock on the door. That's what gets me to push the ring button even now when I'm not even getting a person at the door. They're fully having their conversation with me at the camera. And you have to get comfortable with that. And I think also, the fact that I was in the music industry, I developed a really thick skin, and I got out of my system early on, that people were going to yell at me, and that's okay. It's what are you going to do next? What's your response going to be? How are you going to react? Are you going to take it to heart and cry and go home and feel bad? That doesn't put money in my bank account. I got two
Right.
kids, I got a family and a mortgage, and we all have responsibilities. So I have to make sure that I'm out there 24/7, no matter what.
I love it, man. I love it. So Eric, tell us a little bit about all right, so you're door knocking. What was your script like?
Honestly, it's very simple. There's no special sauce. It's really coming down to being consistent and being out there. But really, when I would knock on the door, I just knock knock. Hey, it's Eric Hass with EXP Realty. How you doing today? Simple. They say, oh, I'm doing great. I said, great. I'm stopping by because I'm delivering an update on the neighborhood. I want to keep you dialed in on how the market's going, and take a look at how the median price is adjusted favorably or negatively. Look at average price per square foot, buyer demand. See if there's any trigger points that get them thinking. If I can say that the median price has risen 20%, that could get someone who's on the fence
Mm,
about selling really interested. Or if I'm saying that the market's in a slouch, and that person's like, gosh, I really got to sell, and maybe it makes them inclined to sell now as opposed to waiting later to see how bad the market potentially could get. So it's really just talking points and really facilitating how the conversation goes. Not every conversation is going to be the same. You're really going to get a lot of people go, thank you so much, take your stuff, and you're on to the next one. But those
okay.
people that you do get a connection with, I always make sure to get their name, jot down any information that I can remember to talk about next time I see them. But I always follow up with a personal written note, just so they know that I remember them, and if they need anything, I want to be that person that they're reaching out to.
That is awesome, Eric. So you go to the door, again, you're saying every single person is different. So it's gonna be a different conversation. But pretty much you do start your script, just hey, how are you doing? And then you give some type of value, right? Some type of stats, market stats, right? And you always try to get, like you just said, like something that makes it stand out, not just like, hey, the market's doing well. No, you're like, hey, the median price rose by 20%. So you always try to bring a fact that kind of stands out and it hits them like, oh shit, okay. So you do that, and then you maybe have a conversation. So how do you finish that up? Do you say, hey, by the way, do you have a real estate agent? Like, they just say, they're just like, hey, thank you. Do you just move on to the next one, or do you try to get their contact information? Do you ask if they have a real estate agent? What's the next steps after that conversation that you're having?
It really it depends on how you're feeling it out. But for me, I don't really have a problem being direct. I mean, I want to know whether or not they're going to be a yes or a no. And a no is just as fine as a yes. It's giving me an honest answer, and I can build upon that no in the future. But if there's a yes to be had, I want to make sure that I'm asking them, do you have any real estate needs right now? Or are you thinking of making a change this year? And I say this year because I don't want to say like in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I want to say, hey, I'm available to you all year long. So whenever you're looking to pull the trigger, I'm here to give you the most transparent answer as to what you can potentially get for your home. And we'll get it done in 2 weeks. So.
Love it, man. Wow. Okay. What is your follow-up system with these people?
So again, I try to get their email information. I have a drip email that I like to put out. Obviously, as you know, as you mentioned already, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm always dropping value on that with respect to market updates and how the market's reacting. A lot of people are thinking that the market's rebounded already, but with, an increase in sales, happening in June, but really that's just, as a result of homes taking 60 to 90 days to actually close. So there's a big hold off of homes that weren't able to close because the pandemic hit those people early on, whether it was a loan program that was lost or the down payment need to be facilitated from something else. But there's no way that the market's rebounded here quite yet. It may be on its way, but we have certainly a lot of inventory that's been piling up, which doesn't really allow me to get out to either. But I have secretly, early in the mornings, I've been sneaking out and dropping things. But here's the thing, the way I got around it, I have a laminating machine, I got my gloves on and a mask. And hey, if people are dropping stuff at my door, then I'm going to be dropping stuff at your door.
So that's pretty much your follow-up campaign right there. Sneaking out 5 a.m. to drop off what market updates.
Right now.
It's market updates that you're dropping off, or what exactly are you dropping off?
It's a market update that tells them to dial in my YouTube channel. So I'm getting people going there. Instead of just having the numbers right in front of them that may not make sense, they can go to my YouTube channel and really get a good explanation. Wow. See what I'm all about, see what my personality is, see how much I care and want them to be a success if they're thinking about selling. But, it's all about staying in touch with people. Again, I want to, get that KV core thing set up too, because that's going to be magic for me, with respect to, constantly dripping to people that, I want to be of service, whether it's you're buying now, the future, a second property, an investment property, or I'm helping out one of your family members or friends. I want to be that person that, just like every agent wants to be that person that's thought of when, someone is looking to sell that they've interacted with.
Right. That's awesome, man. And so tell us something, Eric. Did you ever have any like super crazy experiences from door knocking? Other than, of course, you've had, the normal slamming the door, maybe cursing you out, but did you have any crazy experiences that you could recall?
Yeah, there's one early on, and this house actually is very close to where I live right now. But I think I was probably like 26, 27 at the time, and I've had some sales under my belt at that point already, so my name was pretty much known in the neighborhood. But I don't know, maybe it was because I was younger. This gentleman thought it was okay to put his hand on the back of my neck and basically guide me through the house, and then ask me at the end of that, like, what I thought the value was. And I was like,
oh God,
I don't even know what to say on that now. So yeah, that was a little weird. You are going to encounter that. People are going to answer the door naked too sometimes, and they don't care. They feel like, you're coming into their space anyway. You'd be surprised. I've been asked out at the door too. I've got listings right at the door too, especially from people that have that doormat that says go away. Yeah, I've knocked on that door and I've gotten a listing from that door as well.
Wow, man. That was actually my next question. What is the best result that you've gotten from door knocking? Was that it right there? Knocking and hey, I want to list right now?
I mean, that's one of many. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't happen like on a regular weekly basis, which God knows I wish it would. Mm-hmm. But it's that, it's, again, remaining top of mind. So when they are thinking about selling, they're reaching out to you, whether you're knocking at their door or not. But when you are at that door, you got to take advantage of it. I still remember this nice lady that was living south Mar Vista of me, and I caught her outside and we simply had a conversation. She told me when she was moving to Idaho, and I asked her if she had an agent. She said she was interviewing. I said, would it be okay if I had the opportunity to interview with you? I said, I guarantee you're not going to find a better agent. And she said, sure. I locked it down, and she goes, so how do I tell these other people, like, in a nice way, that I'm not going to work with them? I said, that's your problem, not mine.
You should have been like, I called them, no problem. That's awesome, man.
Good relationships in the brokerage community. That's another big thing too. And another thing that I get from the door knocking too is that, in my hood, the neighborhood that I work in a lot on the west side, for that matter, is there are a lot of older homes that they're builders out the wazoo looking for these opportunities. So that's another way that I'm able to stay ahead of other people. They send out letters, but they don't know who that letter is really from. I do as well, don't get me wrong. But then I, add one more step to it by being right in front of their face as that person who wrote that letter and asking them yet again, is there any interest in, cashing out at this time? And then explaining the value behind it, whether they want to, do a rent back, because builders, obviously like for the property to stay in the original owner's name for as long as possible, so they can do all their prep work while they're not owning it, and then close after everything's dialed in. So I work with a lot of builders, so that allows me to generate business on that end as well as sell that regular house or the new construction that's very prevalent in our neighborhood as well.
That is awesome, man. That's really good for you, Eric. And so let me ask you, so is that your farm area? Do you only work in these, I think it's two major neighborhoods that you work in, correct?
So I'm primarily West Side. It's Mar Vista, Venice, Santa Monica, and Brentwood, but I'll go all the way from Malibu down to Manhattan Beach. I've sold in Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills, Bel Air. These are all neighborhoods that I always have a pulse on, and I understand what they're doing and how they're working and functioning, whether it's a buyer seller's market, and how to take advantage of that to dominate it for my clients. Mm-hmm. But I primarily am on the West Side by the coast, but again, I'm everywhere. Right. My parents are in the Valley, so they facilitate, all my referrals for the Valley. But yeah, I mean, I got you handled. And if I can't get you handled, then I got someone who can take care of you. And I especially got a really good agent in Miami. I don't know if you've heard of him, Hans.
I haven't heard of that, but definitely I want his contact info. Right. Check it out, man. So the reason I'm asking about the farm area is because, again, from door knocking and just kind of building that relationship, I'm guessing the area cannot be too big, so you can kind of going back to it and kind of be the expert in that area, right? So that's what I'm asking, is it these little neighborhoods that you farm? Not little. LA is freaking huge, so those are big ass neighborhoods probably. But and like, how often do you go back to the same door? Because you'll go to the door, then you're gonna send a handwritten letter, then hopefully they join your YouTube channel, then hopefully they see you somewhere else, right? So you're doing all these touches, but then how often do you say that you've gone back to that second door?
They'll probably see me at least 5 times a year.
Awesome.
So they will see me every single quarter, and then probably one or two times after that. And my farm is 10,000, and I'm hitting 150 to 200 doors a day. But you got to remember, it's like, what else better do you have to do? Unless you have a huge marketing budget, like what else do you have to do? So it works for me. And then when I get home, I dial in everything else as far as my social media, my YouTube channel, what have you. Obviously, it's more social media and YouTube channel right now, though. But yeah, it's a daily thing, Monday through Friday, 150 to 200 doors, however long that takes me. And I feel that I get my contacts in with respect to that. Usually it takes about 3 to 3.5 hours a day. Keeps you in shape too, bud.
Of course, man. Of course, I see that, man. And you're a soccer player, so it's like you're pretty much. I love it. You're pretty much a little kid trick-or-treating and an adult, mid-adult, playing soccer. It's like it's what you've done your whole life, right?
Exactly.
And now you're making $50,000 checks. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I can't complain.
Man, that's amazing, man. I love it. I love it, Eric. I love what you're doing, man. And so picking up the phone and like actually calling, not too much of, right? Except if it's already with someone that you already built a relationship and there's a transaction going on. But not really for prospecting.
I'm not a cold caller. I'm weird like that. I can hit a door all day long, but I don't like picking up the phone, calling someone just blindly that I don't have a previous, interaction with per se.
Perfect. Awesome, man. So tell us, Eric, how are you doing right now? Because you're not a cold caller and you can't really hit doors because of the situation that we're going through. So how has your business changed? What are you doing? What have you been implementing? What's going on?
So this has been 5 years in the making, but I've really wanted to leverage my social media in a way that was going to have me working as a modern day agent the way I wanted to. Meaning I wanted to be able to be in a place where I could scale my business. And I think most real estate agents, get into the business because they want to make a lot of money, A, and B, have flexible time to do what they want. And those were exact reasons why I signed up. But I feel, for a long time, the companies that I work for, and I've been at 4, I've been Coldwell Banker, I've been at 2 boutiques, Telus Properties, which was bought by Douglas Elliman. I've been at Partners Trust, which was bought by Pac Union, which was then eventually bought by Compass. So I've been at boutiques, I've been at the majors. And like I said, the last one I was at was Douglas Elliman. So, I found that no one was really giving me the value that I needed in order to take my social media to the next level. There was no one in my office that I could reach out to and say, hey, how do I do a pay to play ad? And they're like, a pay to play ad, what is that? So they're like, yeah, the best thing you can do is add 30 hashtags to your Instagram post. And I'm like, no, like that was like 5 years ago. And mind you, I just saw that when I was still at the company 3 months ago. That doesn't work. And, if you don't understand how to do the pay to play ad, it doesn't matter how great your content is or how much value you're presenting in it. And same with your YouTube channel too. If you don't know how to dial it in, which we both know, then it's not going to even matter how amazing or what person you have on your podcast or what have you, if you don't have the essentials dialed in. And honestly, I had no idea where to go to. And honestly, I found Mike Sherrard, who you know as well. And I found the social media mastermind group. And, I've seen many of those things before. A lot of people have introduced those kinds of things to me before. And Mike didn't even introduce himself. I found him on my own. And I found him through Ed Milet and Andy Frisella, who are major, speakers and entrepreneurs in their own right. They lead a whole entrepreneur group called Arete, which I don't happen to be a part of. I hope to at some point. But, I also followed Andy Frisella on his MFCEO podcast. And to get validation that Mike was affiliated with Andy and Ed's group was clear. And if he's getting support from Andy and Ed, then I knew that I was in the right place. And from there, I just joined the group and had my head blown off because it was just so much information. As you know, you're just like, wow. But then I started dialing it in and it's been great. So I've really taken to Facebook ads, doing my Instagram posts on a regular, consistent, scheduled basis. Also do my YouTube channel, which drops 2 videos a week, Monday and Friday at 9 a.m. And that's really geared towards, making sure that, while I'm not at the doors, I'm providing value. Look, I figured that since everyone's home, 90% increase in screen time, I might as well take advantage of that, get comfortable, get past this awkwardness that I've been facing for 5 years. I finally found the person that can dial in everything that I've been looking for. Now it's just make the damn videos and just putting myself out there and putting the content together and creating those little thumbnails that have the interesting little quotes to remain top of mind and show that, not only am I putting myself out there, but I do truly care. And I want to see you succeed, whether you're a buyer, seller, or investor. So, that's what's been important to me in focusing on that. But again, you have to have the right guide. And if you're doing it blindly, you'll get there, but it's going to take a lot more time than, say, having someone in your back corner that can really dial it in and help you understand it step by step.
Right, Eric. So guys, it was a lot of information you just gave, and there's probably people that are going to be listening that are like, wait, that was a little bit confusing. So just to go back, right? Because, we know each other a little bit, Eric. So, we're kind of like talking like if we know what like if other people may not be understanding you. So pretty much Eric what was the last company you were with? The Coldwell Banker?
I was with Douglas Elliman.
Douglas Elliman, 3 months ago, right?
Right.
So for years, you've been wanting to implement, more social media, more online presence, online marketing, digital marketing. And, even though they're out there everywhere, always, trying to hit up agents and trying to get us to join this team or join this a marketing agency or this and that. But, none of them was, closing you. None of them were interesting to you until finally, through a couple of gentlemen that you've named a few, I actually don't really know like a few of those, but through these people that are, well known in the industry, I'm guessing you found Mike Sherrard, who has, he's a EXP agent, top agent, that we're now in he has like a really good marketing program. But anyway, you found this program and now it's changed pretty much your whole career, let's just say, right? So now you started doing YouTube, you started doing social media, now you understand ads, Facebook advertisement. So now you could be, top of mind and, brand awareness now in more in the digital world. So now, I'm guessing as soon as the pandemic is done and you're going to be probably going back to doors and also implementing everything that So now it's going to be, 10x what you were already doing.
Exactly.
That is awesome, man. And tell us a little bit about, the digital. So you started 3 months ago in this EXP Realty, right? Which is a cloud-based company.
Right.
And you started with this group, right? The Wolf Pack, right? So tell us how your business, in the last 3 months since the pandemic, how has it changed, or what kind of things have you been seeing? Of course, it's only been 3 months, but what kind of things can you tell us that you've been implementing now in your business and your career?
Right. So, I mean, within the last 3 months, the YouTube channel was launched. My Instagram started seeing a lot more presence with me and my stories, but that was really all as a result of being in that social media mastermind group with Mike Schwartz. And then also joining EXP, it wasn't simply because of EXP that this is all happening. It's actually particular to the group that I joined, which is,
Mm-hmm.
as you mentioned, the Wolf Pack. And the differentiating factors is the fact that the Wolf Pack actually shows you exactly how to do what I was looking for, which was to leverage my business across all social media platforms in a scalable way, the modern agent way. And they did that in a step-by-step basis, but providing training, access, and always updating it. Plus, I mean, what real estate agent do you know that has a sales funnel coming to you? I mean, it's taking a look at real estate and really doing it from an entrepreneurial perspective. And then, obviously leveraging what EXP is providing, but the Wolf Pack with its social media expertise and guidance is everything for what I need for myself, at least for my business, and what I feel is going to allow me to be successful still, even during this market that, we're experiencing right now. Because like you said, I mean, branding and brand awareness is everything. And if you're not at the doors and you're not a mailer of, a ton of postcards,
Mm-hmm.
what's the next best way to really get in front of people and do it for free? I mean, you can still do a YouTube channel. You don't have to necessarily pay for ads or whatnot, but
Right.
that's just the icing on the cake. I like to do ads with, seller's guides, buyer guides, that really spells out, how to go from A to Z from a seller's perspective and also A to Z from a buyer's perspective. So when I do my ads, it's really focused on providing value, just as if I was at the doors providing value, a takeaway that if I don't catch them at the door, I'm leaving something behind as well, which we didn't touch on. But at the same time, I leave something behind at the door. With the ad, I'm leaving something behind as well with a download or learn more.
Love it, man. Wow, that's awesome, man. That's only been 3 months, so I'm sure you have a lot of you have a long road ahead of you with this, with the new era, the digital marketing era, and the YouTube era, the Instagram. And again, for anyone who's not following Eric, please follow Eric. Eric Hass on Instagram. You're gonna see what he's doing. What's your YouTube channel, Eric?
It's hassgroupsyoutube.com.
Hass Groups, Hass Group with a S.
Yes.
HassGroupsYouTube.com.
Yeah.
Find them. You're gonna see what he's talking about. Check out his video. He also, if you want to know more about door knocking, he has a video about door knocking. Correct, Eric? That you go a little bit deeper into.
Yes, sir.
So please go ahead and check that out. Support Eric. I mean, he's making $500,000 per year door knocking. I mean, what a better person to learn, door knocking from than Mr. Eric from LA. I mean, beautiful, man. Eric, to finish this off, we're going to go into some fun questions just to finish this off a little bit fun, my friend. So tell us, man, if you can compare yourself, Eric, with any animal, what animal would that be?
That's easy. Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Yeah.
Really? Tell me about why a pitbull.
Because I never relent for my clients. I'm just relentless, and other agents have said that, and I do that in the most nicest of ways. But I look out for my clients, and that's what you got to do. I mean, you got to have that ability to stand up for them, not get pushed around, and that's what I bring to the table. I love negotiating, so if we ever get in that, be prepared, my friend.
My man, all right. We got to make a video about negotiation. 5 tips for negotiating. There you go, Eric. If we finish this interview, you walk outside your house and you find a bag with $10 million. Sorry, let's put it like this: you find a lottery ticket, even easier, right? More realistic. You find a lottery ticket, you pick it up, and like, what the hell this is? You go, and it's $10 million that you just won, Eric. What would you do with that money?
Invest in real estate, man.
Go a little bit deeper. What would you do exactly?
I mean, I want to look. That's something that I really want to get into is investing. I don't really know too much about investing. in real estate. I mean, my parents are involved with it, but I would like to, you know, start small and grow just like my parents did, and add to a portfolio that's constantly growing to a point where, you know, I'm making money while I'm sleeping. I mean, I love that saying, you know, you're making money while you're asleep. That's the place I want to get to with my real estate business. I want to get to a place where I can continue to add to that portfolio and just be a landlord. You know, I mean, I think that real estate is one of the best things you can invest in. And, you know, no matter what the market is doing, it's always going to survive and thrive. So if I had the 10 million, okay, 9 million would probably go to the investment, and I probably get a sick ass car too.
A million. With the million, what's that? A McLaren or one
No, it's
Pagani?
all
I
the
don't know.
options. It's all the options I got to put on it afterwards, man. I mean, I might, you know, get a, you know, a Hurricane Lambo and, you know, carbon fiber the whole thing. You never know. I mean, the tuning, everything. Plus, I mean, to maintain those things is not cheap either. So, but, you know, I just want to be in a place where I can take care of my family. And, you know, my wife doesn't want to work anymore. So I know that if I can handle that, happy wife, happy life.
Absolutely, my friend. I agree. Mr. Hass, man, thank you so much for being with us and sharing us all this knowledge, all these tips, you know, about door knocking, about how you made it, and about what you're doing right now with your online presence and your digital marketing. It's been great. Thank you so much. Again, if anybody wants to, you know, find Eric, Instagram is Eric Hass, and his YouTube channel is Hass Group, Hass YouTube, Hass Group, YouTube.com.
AskGroupsYouTube.com.
HassGroupsYouTube.com. Find him, check out what he's doing so you know exactly what he's talking about. Eric, thank you so much, man. You have a wonderful rest of your evening.
You too, bro. Have a great one.
All right, man. Thank you everyone for watching and for joining us. I hope you got a lot of value. Until next time.